Night of the Living podcast is always ad-free for patrons at patreon.com/NOTLP.
It's just me, it's not the angle.
Welcome to Night of the Living podcast. What you said something about the angle right when we were coming in, Andy?
Oh, it's the angle on my phone. It was tilted back a lot, and I was like, "Oh, what an awful angle!"
Right at my nostrils.
And then I adjusted the angle. I was like, "Oh, it's just me."
Oh, stop! Oh, it is not a good.
Beautiful.
It's the angle of an angle.
It's directly proportionate to the heat of your meat.
Everybody knows that.
That's Louis Fowler, our curator.
Hello.
For this month.
Hello, kind sir. Welcome back. Welcome back.
We'll be discussing his choice, Ascensor, the lift, when we get into our main
how European of it to call it a lift as opposed to an elevator.
Or an apartment versus a flat. That was in the dialogue even.
Mm-hmm.
But Amy is here.
Hi.
Andy's here.
Hey.
I'm working the board tonight.
Freddie Morris.
And I have not done it in a while.
I know.
So I hope I don't fuck up.
Please don't fuck up.
I'm going to try not to fuck up.
If you could, that'd be great.
And we're trying out Facebook Messenger to do this because FaceTime was just being a nightmare the last couple of times we tried to record a podcast with it.
It's a very buggy thing.
It is.
I mean, isn't FaceTime a product of... Oh, it's an Apple, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and most of the time my Apple apps are great, but that one is not so
the
good.
Mac fanboy did not appreciate it not working so well.
Yeah.
Take that, Tim Apple.
You really let me down, FaceTime.
Get my face products mixed up between FaceTime and Facebook.
I like the Apple II.
The Apple IIe.
Plug-in.
You got to play Oregon Trail on there.
Oregon.
Yeah.
The Oregon Trail.
Get a print shop where you can make a big sign on dot matrix paper that says "Happy Birthday, Mom."
I'm just tearing the little side paper off the sides.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the little
It was so satisfying.
It really kind of was.
Yeah.
My neighbor was a Make-A-Wish kid, and he got. I like that Louis is laughing. But he got
That's a great start to any story.
Yeah, just right in there. He had muscular dystrophy, and he got to be part of the Make-A-Wish program. And his wish was to have basically a Tandy computer, and he had Photoshop and not Photoshop, but Print Shop, I think is what they called it. And we made so much nonsense garbage with that. We ran through like every fucking printer ribbon in Cincinnati.
They made your wishes come true by proxy.
Yeah, it's true. I like to ride the coattails of Make-A-Wish kids.
Sick kids.
If I was to make making a wish kid, I would say, "Can I have a cure?"
Yeah, you know what? That's got to be the worst fucking feeling in the world if you work for Make-A-Wish and you're like, don't let this be the kid that asked for the cure.
They were like, no, but how about Disney World?
Yeah, not on my watch.
John Cena? He likes to do things.
He does do a lot of nice things.
What about Robert Smith showed up?
Who?
What about Robert Smith showed up when you asked for the cure?
Oh, that's a clever wish fulfillment.
What do they say? We can't do Disney World, but we got Knott's Berry Farm.
You're allowed to pitch a fit about your trip if that's the case.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to get so greedy that they stop honoring Make-A-Wish fulfillment in Disney? Yeah.
I bet you they've thought about it.
They're like, how do we make money on this?
God, I bet you they've thought about it.
I wonder if the Make-A-Wish kids
sell
get
special merchandise to them.
If they get Fast Pass or Genie Plus.
Yeah.
Or do they still have to wait in line?
They still have to pay for that shit.
Oh, I think it's a V with Make-A-Wish. Oh, that's a good question though, Andy. I feel like it couldn't all be VIP because there's a lot of Make-A-Wish recipients, right? Would it all be like?
If they ever said, I'd say, I'd rather go to Dollywood with a free pass than go do everything
and get like the cinnamon bread. That's pretty good.
Everything.
Ooh, you can stay at the Dollywood Resort. That's expensive.
Oh, stay on site.
The Dreammore.
And I feel Dollywood is more for Make-A-Wish kids because there's a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Because I feel they have a lot of roller coasters too, but I feel that's dangerous for them.
Yes,
Fire
maybe.
Down Below is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? No, Fire in the Hole. What is that? It's a dark ride.
Yeah,
It's the dark
It's
ride.
the
Is it called Fire in the Hole?
fireman-based dark ride.
Where you go through and there's like hillbillies burning alive and firemen saving them.
Dollywood is a magical place, that's
fun.
for sure. You guys were talking about things that took place in the past earlier.
Oh my.
And I'm still going to use the segue I had developed because I couldn't think of anything else. So remember when you were talking about things from the past?
Yeah, every time I open my mouth.
Patreon.com/NOTLP. There's a couple of things there that are relevant to the past. One being Origins, where we go back in time and listen to our old episodes and give you a new commentary. And we're talking old.
Yeah,
12 years old.
This one most recently was an interview Kelley did with Sarah Brooke, a horror author who's still writing, as far as I know. She's had quite an output. But it's a good interview.
So that's available to patrons. Also, we just posted the first episode of what I hope is many of Primetime Rewind.
Yeah.
This show's concept is we're going to go back to a specific date in history and watch the primetime lineup from one of the 3 big networks, or 4 if Fox, if we're in the 90s or whatever, or 5 if CW, or 6
That's
WB, or UPN. Do you remember all of those?
It is interesting. It's going to I didn't even think about that, but it is going to expand depending on the date.
So we went back to Freddy's birthday and we watched $6 Million Man.
If it was 1958, would you say the DuPont network?
Honestly,
Laramie Cigarette Hour,
the Signal Oil Mystery Hour. I would go back and find old time radio shows. That is one of my kinks, is old time mystery shows
Borax
from the radio.
Brought to you by Borax.
Johnny Dollar, y'all.
Yeah,
Johnny fucking Dollar.
What's the one you always hear? It's another soap on the Australian. There's a lot of Australian radio dramas from the era, and it's always this soap company that sponsors it. Now I can't remember who it was now. It was like Borax, but it was like a different word.
Snorax.
That
That's
was
a Pokemon. It is. It's Snorlax.
Yeah.
So anyway, Primetime Rewind, we are joined by our friend Fozzie Bear for that, and it's a really good time. We had a great blast of time. What does that mean? Speaking of the past and talking about it. So if you're a patron, you can go get a blast full of time.
That should be Andy's the tagline for Andy's porn corner.
That's a blast full of time.
Blast full of time.
Blast full of time to the face.
It's a time full of blast.
Is that what we're calling semen now?
Time. What has become on me? We talked about on this episode that because we're pulling those random nights of programming, we don't know what we're getting really.
No.
I mean, we look at the grid and we're like, what's the most fun looking thing of the 3 networks? If I were just locked into that network for the night is what we're recreating. And this was the night I was born, and we watched the $6 Million Man Death Probe Part 2 of 2, which if you've never seen it was apparently popular enough that they made a toy of the Death Probe.
Did you watch part 1 to prepare yourself?
No, we watched the recap at the beginning of the episode, which the recap blew me away. The episode was terrible. The recap was awesome. And then we talked about a made-for-TV movie called Night Cries with Suzanne St. James.
Which is also a little batshit.
Yeah, William Conrad, the fat man.
We determined.
And
live on the air.
Well, I couldn't remember if he was I knew he was canon, and I got him mixed up with Ironsides too.
Now he's just saying words.
I think Lewis knows what I'm talking about for some reason.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah,
he's all right.
Old farts.
You're getting confused with Raymond Burr as Ironside.
Raymond Burr was Ironsides. Thank you. Oh, that's such a relief.
You feel better?
I could have looked that up, but I didn't.
No.
I'd rather hear it from Lewis.
As most things, it's better to hear it from Lewis.
That's what my song "Until I Hear It From Lewis" is all about. It's kind of a parody of the Gem Blossoms.
So we should have a service where Lewis breaks bad news to people, or gives them some facts.
Until I hear it from Lewis.
That's adorable.
But Lewis is curating this month. We're in episode 3.
Yeah, 3 of 4.
And I'm excited to talk about the movie. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about at the top of the show?
Nay. Nay, they say. I'm vamping.
Turn out lights, it's the main attraction.
See, I had to turn around and hit a button.
Yeah.
Just like the space shuttle people. That's what took so long. A guy had to turn around and hit a button.
Now you see what I've been dealing with all this time.
All that turning.
All
Oh my
that
God, Amy.
turning.
Yeah, it's a lot of turning. I'm gonna get you that.
Practically
Gotta get
like
you.
the $6 million man. He was an astronaut.
You're a hero.
Yeah.
So
I need a bionic arm.
this week's movie, Ascensor, The Lift, kind of like Groundhog's Day. We're in a couple.
Wait, real quick.
Yeah.
So I went into this completely blind. I didn't
Same.
even know what it was about. I didn't even know, I knew what the name of it was, but I didn't know what that stood for yet. So I think that was really cool to go in that way. So I would say, we're going to spoil the heck out of this because we're going to talk about it, but I do recommend the movie. So
do
I want people to watch it.
I was surprised that when we saw the amount of negative reviews, I think it's underrated. I'm not saying it's great, but I think it's underrated.
The people on IMDb seem to think this is a piece of shit, and I couldn't disagree more.
Yeah, I feel like they just completely unappreciated the whole thing. It was like, first of all, it was like 80 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Nice
was
and tight.
Not even that. It was 70 minutes.
Nice and tight.
Even better. And
We just gave you 10 minutes of life, people.
Like they gave us life.
at first it says even country of origin, it said Mexico. But I noticed that it was very, very Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
The names and the places and even their accents were very Spanish. So I'm not sure really what it was.
I'm pretty sure it took place in Spain.
And that's,
because she said that she was from Mexico and she's like, I'm going to go home.
And he was making fun of her for calling things apartments versus
Instead of-
flats,
yeah.
which flats is very European.
And he was
So they were in
a Real Madrid fan,
Yeah.
which is a Spanish team.
And he called her Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah, kind of like a slur almost.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a lot of experience with people who live in Spain, but I've been given the impression that Spaniards hold themselves in a higher regard than other Latin-speaking countries.
Well, it's they're more well-to-do, compared to Mexico.
Yeah, and I also think they consider themselves white, don't they?
Pretty much, for the most part.
And
and they were the colonialists. That's not right.
Yeah.
Colonists.
The only thing I know about Spain is from Pedro Almodovar movies. So I imagine Spain to be a very sexy country.
Barcelona.
I love Spanish movies, but they have a problematic history.
Yeah, just a little bit. The one that we share.
Yeah, a lot of it. So the movie, the title translates to The Lift, and this is very much like a Twilight Zone bottle episode to me. They're repeating the same sequence of going from the 10th floor of their apartment building to the ground floor over and over and over again.
Yeah, I feel like it would have been a good episode of Black Mirror or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the way that it had 3 parts. The first part is just the guys doing the
He's stuck in the loop.
Then it's the girl doing it, and then they all come together to try to figure it out.
That was refreshing, that instead of them having to keep explaining it over and over again, the way they handled that with them both experiencing it. And then I think that plussed it a lot because the structure of it is an argument that they're having.
Yeah.
And it's really a fight. And
Between
it's
a couple that's been together for 5 years. It's their anniversary that day. And clearly this is not a healthy, thriving relationship.
Yeah. And they're looking to move out of this apartment building because they live there with his parents, essentially.
Yeah.
And they are bigots.
Yeah.
And she doesn't like them. But you learn these things throughout the repeat because they get more and more open with each other.
Mm-hmm.
as they're stuck in this loop together.
She screwed Eduardo when she went to Mexico for 3 months.
Well, seeing how he treats her, I would have screwed
I
Eduardo
know.
too.
Yeah.
Seriously,
He was
this
kind of a bitch.
He
was
was.
a
I
bitch.
mean,
I'm not like I know that like the point of the movie is like there's two sides to every story, and like not everybody's
No,
in,
he was
there's no
way worse.
innocence. But like Amy said, he was way
stole the
worse.
money.
Yeah.
it was so obvious too.
He
like,
stole her money.
which was fine, like because that's kind of that classic trope. It's a trope of the woman is always kind of a classier, more put together character than the male in these, because that's like the sitcom structure. You makes the guy somehow likable in a reversey world kind of way. Where they're like, oh, he didn't really mean to lose $6,000 of their joint savings account. He thought it was going to turn out okay, so we'll forgive him.
Yeah,
movie
it's,
did not forgive
it's
him.
like that show that lady from Schitt's Creek was on, the Kevin show.
Kevin can
F himself.
F himself, yeah.
They remind me of this.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they just say fuck himself. You
Oh,
guys
in the
said
title,
F.
yeah.
It's
I'm,
adorable.
I'm trying to be classy.
Oh, are you now? Oh, I see. Real quick, we didn't talk about the very beginning, which is lightning striking this tall apartment building, which gave me major and Freddy Tower of Terror vibes. Andy, did you pick up on that?
No, I didn't think
Because
of
the
it until you
lightning
did.
hits
Yeah.
the building and
Yeah.
hits the elevator.
And it's an elevator thing too.
Twilight Zone
And
Tower of Terror.
And the good about the movie is that it gets right to the whole premise. And, instead of 30 minutes of backstory and everything, it gets right to them in the tower, and thunder makes the circuitry bad, and you get right to the time.
And they do a good job too of front loading it with that one brief scene of them arguing about the jersey.
Yeah.
And that's all you need, like, because they're like, okay, that's the regular world.
Give him the quick, what's the word I want? Exposition.
Yeah.
It's our anniversary.
Well,
We're a couple.
I think this
He's into
movie
this.
would trust its audience because everybody's seen these like time loop things type of movies and shows.
Even the characters in it.
And we don't need an
Caught in the
explanation of what's going on. So like it just throws us right in because it thinks we're smart people.
Doesn't caught in the elevator.
and we are smart people.
In an elevator or in the elevator. That
He-
sounded really good. I don't think it was real.
He references a movie that the same sort of thing happens in, because yes, it is kind of a trope, and in that movie, it was a killer and his victim. Did we ever find out if that was a real movie? Or
I
just
tried
made
to
up?
find it and I couldn't find it.
Yeah,
But the
it's
story
probably made up.
it sounds just as good as this movie. It almost sounds like the movie they might have made with more money,
The killer and the victim end up falling in love, but at the end, they resolve the issue of the time loop and they get out of it. But then they are brought back to the moment
And the killer doesn't
that
remember
they
her
started,
now.
and they don't remember each other, and he kills her.
That's really a
That's
fucking awesome
the movie
idea.
in the movie.
Yeah.
It sounds like a heartbreaking ending though.
It does, doesn't it? I mean, but that would be really effective. But this also, had its own effective moments.
Well, it was really, really great because this movie is basically only two characters,
Yep.
and you're able to see the range from joyous to angry, and it very well works that way. Where you don't need all this people around. It's literally just two characters, and that's all it is.
And they're good actors.
Yeah.
Like because the visual effects in this movie, whenever they have to do a digital effect, it's very silly. It's very
Yeah.
cheap. But I gotta say, I really love that they did the cutaway for the elevator set where it had the pieces that would move in front of it to indicate it going up and down. It was like a stage. It was very much like a play, it was the same way they'd build something like that. And it was enough. It was enough. Like I wasn't bored or I didn't feel deprived of the stuff that like you're saying, Louis. There wasn't anything real over the top until they start to escape the elevator, which is the sequence where I really think the movie kind of goes to a place a lot of these lower budget movies wouldn't even consider building that second set. But I'm really glad they did, and I think the scenes in that extra room are really good too.
Yeah, when they find their way to the command room, but not before Not before our hero. What was his name again? Cito, that's right. He falls. He's starting to climb up the
hatch.
The hatch, and he's climbing up the wall in the little narrow ladder, and he falls down, and his arm gets cut off, and he almost dies, which was kind of funny. That scene.
That was a big surprise too, because I thought it was gonna go in a different direction.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna go into a horror direction where there's something in the shaft, and like
I did too.
And that's what the movie was leading up to, as opposed to this domestic drama.
Were you kind of like, I was relieved when it wasn't that?
Yeah,
and that she had to use his arm with her arm to get it to go.
That.
I think it showed how much she really did care about him, like in this absurd situation, that she was still like, okay, we're in this together still, even with this arm severed off.
But still, the whole movie, it defies expectations, you know. That's what made it so good, is that, you know, you expected that for it not to happen. But the low budget made it work even better.
Yeah, and that for the budget too. I should also say, like, that arm looked great.
Yeah,
it really did.
The detached.
Severed.
The dismembered arm looked great.
Yeah.
Oh, we ummed at the same time.
We did together.
Oh, baby, I love you too.
Oh, it's like you guys are caught in an elevator
or
a lift. I'm sorry.
In the lift. Oh, a little time loop there. Oh,
but I will say that it's subtitled, and they're all speaking in Spanish, but it's very rapid fire.
Yeah, it's fast.
Yeah, and there were times where it was hard to keep up with the reading, and there was a lot to take in because it was just
there's a lot of dialogue.
But that's just me because I'm I don't like effort in movies.
They make him read hard.
I like to just sit back and relax and, you know, just take it in.
Well, we just saw, we'll probably talk about it at the end of the show. Andy and I went and saw The Substance with our friend Brandon. And Brandon said that's not the kind of movie you should be allowed to recline during. Made me laugh.
But once you got in the groove of the language and the dialogue, it flowed better. But at first, when they were arguing a lot and there was so many words to read, it was hard to pay attention.
Rapid fire.
Yeah, it was hard to pay attention between like what's going on,
because you wanted to watch their faces too.
Yeah,
that's my fault. I need to become bilingual. Anyway,
let's talk about this. The
command room.
I think there's a English track on one of the.
If I had it on DVD,
it's
or
got
something.
a dub.
Yeah, but it's on. I think it's on Amazon too. A different.
We didn't check. We didn't even look to see if there was.
I wanted to watch it in its pure form.
And I don't think, like, I really like these actors. I don't think I would have liked hearing other voices coming out of them.
I think sometimes when it's dubbed, you miss a lot of the nuance. In the language. Yeah. So, I did like the movie and everything, but it just took a while to get into.
Yeah, I don't mind it with action movies usually. Like a dub in an action movie is fine usually.
Do you think when you're dubbing a movie like this, they just put you in a booth? They don't give you somebody to act against?
Well, a lot of times sometimes voiceover actors work in a room with another voiceover actor. Yeah.
I was just wondering.
Remember in Toast of London, where he had to voice over that porno movie?
I can hear you, Clem Fandango.
And he had to be with Ray Purchase in the same room, remember?
That's true.
And that's how real life is.
Okay. The command room.
Yeah, this is a great exposition.
They finally get up the shaft and they find a door into this room.
It's kind of random the way they find it, though, because it's not where you think it's going to be.
She fell, right?
Yeah.
And then
she got there, just landed there by luck.
Yeah. And she got in the door. And then the command room is literally the elevator command room. But what you learn in there, because they find an old tape player, they put the tapes in, is that, and then you get a voiceover, and this is the only other character in the movie, and you don't ever see them. Well, you see their bones, but you just hear them.
It's like a lab too.
Yeah,
like it's like a steampunky, like
Dr.
kind of laboratory.
Manuel something. I forget his last name, but he was a mad scientist basically, and he was using electricity and the elevator to create a time machine.
Yeah, and they set him up earlier in the movie when he was talking about the broken-hearted woman whose husband disappeared,
Yeah.
and he's that guy.
Yeah, there was somebody who had lived in the elevator, not in the elevator, but in the flats
Yeah.
at the apartment building that they know about, like this broken-hearted man who lost his wife or whatever. Turns out it's this mad scientist who's creating time travel out of the elevator and lightning. That's all you need.
Yeah, and this time the time travel stuff didn't make my head hurt.
Yeah,
because
it's pretty simple.
because it wasn't part of the story.
It was brief too.
Yeah, it wasn't. The
was
story
only
is
as
more
long
about
as-
the relationship and not the science fiction around it.
Yeah.
And
They don't spend too much
they
time
don't
on it.
spend time explaining it at all. So that's what I appreciate, because normally time travel is like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't really think about a paradox. They don't really bring up the idea of paradoxes or anything like that because it's such a short amount of time from the 10th floor to the bottom floor. Like, how much trouble could you get up to?
Right.
But they learn how to stop the elevator and get out of it and get up the shaft.
And it's not used. Time travel isn't used to alter, anything in this movie. Really, time travel is used as an excuse to force two characters to be honest with each other.
They learn each other's secrets.
And that's like, can't think of another movie that did that.
And that's how they learn to get out of the time loop, by working together.
Yeah.
By plugging in those sockets.
And it was impossible to do it alone.
Yeah.
They learned that because they plugged them in.
It was a beautiful little metaphor.
Yeah. It had to be done simultaneously on both sides. I think, I really like it. I like it. It's kind of like a salute to imperfect relationships that work.
Yeah, and I like the contrast between their relationship and the mad scientist. Like he left tapes behind and said, I've spent my whole life working on this machine. I forgot about you.
Yeah.
I thought it was really sweet.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah.
It tugged at my my human side.
Oh.
And it was only 70 minutes.
70 freaking minutes.
That's all it needed.
You know what? It's sort of it. So I don't think the low level like horror of being stuck in just an elevator. I don't know if anybody else felt that, because I'm so claustrophobic. It just immediately hit me like what I would feel if everything all right there, babe? Mm-hmm. Okay, sorry. You just like pulled out your phone like you had a mission.
Yeah, I did. I was just trying to look something up for next time.
Sorry, I didn't mean. I'm so easily distracted. I'm so sorry.
Claustrophobia.
You were stuck in an elevator in Paris, weren't you, or something like that?
Yes, when I was 20 years old with my mother and a bunch of soccer players, we got stuck in an elevator.
Didn't we at Horror Hound?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
And
for a
that-
long
That's
time.
right. We got stuck in that elevator.
that was our
There
own
Yeah.
fault.
That was a ton
We
of us in that
overloaded
elevator.
it. Yeah.
I immediately leave an elevator if it's too stuffed.
That was kind of a fun. I don't know why that was fun, but getting stuck. That group was the right group to be stuck in an elevator with.
I remember because when we go off the elevator to walk, I go down and say I'm staying in the elevator and got back on.
You did, that's right. You were like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm not using the flight of stairs."
Hell no.
Oh my god,
I'd rather die.
that was fun. That was a fun
It's
night.
either the heart attack gets me or the elevator.
I'm telling you. That stuff freaks me out. As I get older, I get more claustrophobic.
This though, it helped the way the set was designed that I didn't feel that kind of claustrophobia.
It
It was
a
just
very
when I
tall-
thought about it.
This was
Yeah.
a very tall elevator.
really
It was
was.
tall and it had that missing fourth wall, which
Yeah.
really helped.
Yeah. It's a great movie.
Yeah,
I loved it.
really.
The more I think about it, the more I
Yeah.
would say I love this movie.
Pretty special movie, I think. It's pretty unique.
70 minutes.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to say about Ascensor? Did I say that? Right?
They should break up. I don't think they need to be together.
He needs help. I can
He
tell you
stole
that.
her money.
And he has a gambling problem
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And her big misdeed was sleeping with her ex-boyfriend in the beginning of the relationship.
Yeah,
Right,
seriously.
like right at the very beginning. They were together, what she said, like a week.
She went-
It's like a month or something.
3
but-
months.
I mean,
Oh.
still, it's still like a big secret to keep, but it is not equal to what.
Stealing her.
Yeah,
He's been putting her through.
especially at the beginning of a relationship.
Yeah. So next week we're going to be talking about a movie called The Darkness, Las Tinieblas.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's got Jodis Jodorowsky is Alejandro Jodorowsky's son.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the one who was supposed to play Paul Atreides, right? In his Dune.
Like our collective. Oh.
Well, I know that name.
Yeah, and he was in Santa Sangre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Louis, have you seen The Substance?
No, I wait for it for pay-per-view.
I think Andy and I loved it. I think Andy's pretty close.
It's like to me, the shared experience of seeing it in the theater added to the heightened everything in this movie
because it's so gross.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to spoil. It's gonna be a very light discussion because I don't want to spoil it because I highly recommend this movie.
And it just came out.
I'd say for Tales from the Crypt fans, it's a must see because it's very much like a Tales from the Crypt.
But it's one of those movies that kind of make you fall in love with movies again because it's so surprising and takes you places you never thought you could go.
Yeah.
Well, now I really want to see it.
Yeah.
All right, Nicole Kidman.
I don't want to be like sound corny, but it's true. Like there are times
that
where
makes me love movies.
Heartbreak feel good in a place like this.
It's a real movie.
Yeah. You seen the memes where people took that footage and they just have her going to see like the Garbage Pail Kids movie or something, or Jackass.
But
that is a good.
Yeah, but I do love going to the theater.
Yeah. I saw a pretty. For a Netflix movie, I can't believe it. Actually, it's pretty good. This movie is produced by Sam Raimi. About I can't remember what it's called. This girl has this she's in the forest, and this guy tries to give her this toxin, and she starts losing her motor skills. Trying to get to what is it?
Is it called Boy Kills World?
No, it's a Netflix movie. I think it's called oh God,
You
Don't
Devil.
Move.
Oh God, you devil.
Don't move.
Don't Move, I believe.
I'll find out for you. You can keep going.
It's a couple of weeks on, but it's on Netflix. It looks really good though.
All right.
It's Sam Raimi, and
is it goofy or scary?
It looks pretty scary because it's really about a woman being paralyzed.
Yeah.
You know, and trying to
Sam Raimi, sometimes can be.
Yeah.
You know what I hate about Netflix now that they make you when you're signed in from a device and they're like, you haven't signed in from this device before, you a thief. And then they make you re-authenticate yourself with a code. And you're like, I just want to know the name of a fucking movie. Is that so much to ask, Netflix?
Are you yelling at your device right now?
Well, was it called Don't Use Netflix?
Yeah.
Is that what the name of it?
well, if anybody knows,
Don't move. No, that's not out yet.
You said that like 2 minutes ago.
Don't move.
Wait,
we already said it.
Did you determine what it's called? Is it Don't Move?
Yes.
Oh, okay, because it says it's coming out on October 25th. Did you see a preview?
Yeah, as a preview on on Netflix, they have trailers you can put on the thing.
Yeah.
And I saw the trailer, looks pretty good.
Yeah. I'm into it. I don't like moving.
I'm still plugging along on my Facts of Life rewatch. Can I just say?
Yeah.
Did Mindy Cohn get enough credit for being an amazing child actor?
No.
Do we feel like she deserves more?
No, because her life stayed normal.
She was amazing.
You took the good and you took the bad, so.
Take them both. There you got some Facts of Life.
I mean, is she that much
She's so
better
good.
than the other girls on the show?
No, they're all good. Don't get me wrong.
Nancy McKeon's the best, though.
But I just feel like there is an effervescence.
Yeah.
There's a subtlety, a nuance, a naturalism to her performance.
And I would like to say that when I was a kid, and I watched Fast Life. I didn't like Blair
Me
at all.
neither.
Well, that was the point, isn't
But
it?
now when I grow up, and she's all right.
You know what? Like, she's a nicer person than you remember, probably. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
that's what's been happening with me watching it again, where I'm like, she's an asshole, but she's not that big of an asshole.
She's
as
an
you
asshole
think.
who learned her lessons every time.
Yeah,
But she's an asshole in real life, though.
But
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
some of this-
Fuck that bitch.
I used to go to my teacher at in third grade. She was a cousin to Lisa Wiltshire.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, they were big Bible people.
Yeah,
thumpers.
kind of in the proselytizing negative sense of it all.
Speaking of Bible thumpers, who's watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?
I think you're the only one.
My girlfriend watched it all day yesterday, the whole thing.
I've only seen the first 2 episodes, but I love trash TV.
Are these
I
the
love
ladies that
Housewives.
were involved in that scandal?
Yes.
With the swapping?
The swapping. It's them, and they're all a
Yeah.
mess. But some of them,
Every time I walk by the room to see her, that is about a baby talk or something.
yes, it's
Is it-
Mom Talk.
Is this a Bravo show?
Mom talk.
No, this is a Hulu show. This has
Oh,
nothing to do
okay.
with Bravo, although it's so a Bravo.
They're trying
show.
to get some of that Bravo money.
What's so funny is because Bravo's counter programming with their Mormons with the Housewives of Salt Lake City just came back.
Like
So I have all the Mormons I could ever want.
Like, I want to say, like, watch what you want to watch, but I don't feel we should be supporting that.
The Mormons?
Yes.
No, they're disgusting. But I like watching them be little assholes on TV. Can't help myself.
I mean, it's so weird because Mormons are believed to be this kind of this sect where they're holy and so
Pure and
better
wholesome.
than and then you just watch them on these other shows. They're trash.
Yeah. Like,
They're
They
absolute
are.
trash.
as long
Just
as,
like the rest of us.
I mean, as long as the show portrays them in a negative light, I'm
yes.
with it.
So the one that is the most fucking pious or whatever, she thinks she's the Queen Mormon bitch. She is such a cunt. Like, there's no way just because you don't drink and you
Don't
smoke, and
What do you do?
You go to the church and you think you're perfect. You're actually a piece of shit and awful to other people. And I like seeing that.
I love seeing that.
She's a real bitch. Her name's
Reaffirms
Whitney.
your
But here's
faith
the
in
thing:
humanity.
like these delusional people, you can never convince them that they're bad people
Maybe seeing their
because they're like,
their
ooh, a
behavior.
platform.
Maybe seeing it reflected back to them.
Yeah, I mean, like
Maybe.
when we do Origins and we're like, ooh,
Yeah. I cannot believe I said that.
Are you equating us to Mormon wives?
Don't you dare.
I'm just saying, I've had to hold my nose a few times here in my own mouth open.
Well, it's not like what we did was great, but our excuse was it was a different time.
Yeah, it's
But these
2024.
bitches are acting
But
like
this
these
is now.
Like now.
You're acting like you're not part of some weird wacko cult
Oh, speaking
that is
of
horribly racist.
another time, the other thing is the old algorithm served up nothing but a good time. Amy watched some of this with me.
Oh yeah, it's a docu-series about hair metal.
It's 3 episodes on Paramount Plus. It's pretty fun.
Hell yeah.
If I can, I want to recommend that the new season of Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, that's right. We need to watch
Yeah.
that. We'll get around to it.
Yeah, it's really good. And they had a Paul Rudd was on.
This is good.
The whole thing. No, his character's stunt double of the guy he was Bill
Yeah,
is very funny.
I love that show.
I love that
I think
guy.
most people love that show who watch it. They're always like, well, you know what? That's really good.
I was just listening to a podcast where one of the co-hosts was like, "That show I tried and I didn't like it,"
Oh
and I
my
was like,
God.
"What?"
I know.
God.
I think for people like us,
Old people.
Yeah. I mean, we tend to like Steve Martin and Martin Short, from our
Love 'em.
childhood.
Yeah.
And to me it works. I like the old man.
What do you think if next season they bring Chevy Chase on for a Three Amigos reunion?
I would love that, but I know it will never
I
happen.
don't think that.
It won't happen. Have you seen? Has anyone else watched Dream Scenario? I'm late to this one with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. I watched it the last year.
It bummed me the fuck out. I watched it today. That's a sad ass movie for a dark. I mean, I know it's a dark comedy, but still, it made me feel really kind of. His character broke my heart. That guy he gets a whole lot of shit on for really not doing anything wrong. Yeah,
It's like Meet the Parents.
Well, on HBO Max, they have that 824.
yeah.
They had that, and they had a Civil War came out.
I haven't watched that yet.
Oh, our friend Matt was saying
That was really good.
Yeah,
Our friend Matt just said he watched that recently.
yeah.
You liked it?
He said it was the bummer.
Oh,
Yeah.
But but compared to everything that's going on right now,
Yeah.
yeah.
I can take it.
Yeah.
You know,
You can handle it.
I can handle it. It's just a movie.
This is
It's
true.
it's either a precursor or a wish list. So
Oh dear.
So I cleansed my palate because I needed something after that. So I finished watching Basket Case 2, which we were watching one night randomly.
Sure.
did you enjoy the sex scene between the
So
Siamese
hot.
twins?
Yeah, Bilal was getting some.
Ew. Is it still like very body horror-ish?
Yeah, it's more fairy tale than the first
Yeah.
one. It's have you seen
That's not Basket Case.
you haven't seen the
Yeah.
sequels. There's 2 sequels and they're both pretty fun. But I hadn't seen this one in a long time. And it feels almost compared to the first one, it almost feels wholesome. Like the home where all the different unique characters live. It's like a kind of it's like, remember Todd Browning's Freaks kind of? Imagine if they let like a really far out surreal artist make masks for all those characters.
Was it the second one or the first one that has that musical number?
Oh, the second one I think I'm pretty sure. I watched this in 2 halves because I hadn't seen it in forever. I just kind of randomly put it on one night and
They're on a
fell
bus
asleep.
and they do that song about personality.
Is that in this one? I might have been asleep for that part.
I've seen Basket Case, but it's been too long.
I don't think that's the first one.
I think it's
and it hasn't even been that
the,
long.
the second one. They have there's a very funny musical number where they do that song. I got personality.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, and it has that lady who was like the villain in Superman 3.
Oh, the robot lady?
Yeah, she's in it. She plays the lady who runs the little group home for all the Basket Case
Oh.
kids.
Are they all Siamese twins?
No, they're all different kinds
No.
of deformities. Yeah, this would pair really well with the Substance.
Yeah, that's what we were talking
Honestly.
about after the movie
Yeah.
on Saturday.
Yeah, Basket Case 2 in particular.
It's like a slapstick Substance.
Although you'll be surprised, there's a little bit of slapstick in Substance, or splat stick, I think is what they call it now.
it's a very dark comedy.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Hoda Kotb watching that movie because she has seen it?
Ew, she's seen The Substance?
Mm-hmm.
You
Because they
feel
interviewed Demi
you want
Moore.
to protect her
Oh.
from it.
And everything I've heard about The Substance, because I still have not seen it, I'm like, Hoda saw that?
No,
She's a Carrie Underwood
I
fan.
feel like Hoda's a like undercover freak.
All right.
Yeah.
I hope so. I want that for her.
Oh,
Because otherwise, I don't know.
Hoda Kotb is a closet freak. That's hilarious. I hope it's true.
That's a good name for an album. For
Yeah,
your,
it is.
Hoda Kotb.
for your a song.
I think you'd be sued.
She's into Japanese wartime torture movies.
Wow.
Where they like boil people alive and stuff like that.
Now you're a accomplished musician. You should get that in the next show.
This could be your next EP, babe.
Hoda, will you be on my album cover? I'll dress you tastefully. I'll take you to a nice movie.
Oh my God.
Like a Basket Case 3.
Has she ever been Yoda for Halloween?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
They did that on the Today Show, yeah.
What about Hodor?
I don't think she's been Hodor.
You're spending a lot of time thinking about how to copy.
And
Yeah.
potential
I started
Halloween costumes.
She's such a pleasant
Yeah.
force
I
in
know,
the world.
she's a good thing.
Yeah, she's a sweetie.
But I want her to be secretly a little.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the substance got a wide release. So it was not like a big shock that a lot of people have seen this movie.
It's a shock that it got a wide release, though.
Yeah.
Like, when you really get into it. I'm surprised it was 2 hours. We were talking about it's 2 hours and 20 minutes long.
But it didn't feel like that.
Which it definitely did not feel long,
That is
which is shocking.
a bridge too far. That's two Ascensors.
It is 2 hours.
Can you
It's like-
believe that? Is exactly two
It is.
Ascensors.
You could have rode the Ascensor up and down.
Up and down.
The
That's
only
funny.
but the only non-algorithm shit we've been hitting up is MasterChef.
Why am I so obsessed with MasterChef? Somebody needs to figure this out for me because I don't know
Because
why.
you like to shotgun things a lot.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's soothing
And facts
too.
of life,
It's
of
very much like Great British Bake Off, but with a little more of an edge.
Anyway,
We've seen
enough
two.
MasterChef.
What have we seen? The first 2 seasons? now?
Three.
The first 3 seasons and the most
latest.
recent one. We've seen
We're keeping you up
4
to date,
seasons
listener.
of MasterChef now.
If you're wondering, we've seen 4 seasons of MasterChef.
So that means I've seen probably
Or no, 5 seasons now. We saw the
100
season before this
Oh,
last
we
season.
did. You're right. 5 seasons.
In the span of how long?
We've seen 1,200 fillets cooked.
Like 3 months.
Oh, that's not too bad.
That's not terrible.
From the way
1,400
from the way you
scallops.
talk, it seems like you watched them in like the
So
span
many
of 2
spot
weeks or
prawns.
something.
No, it's been like an everyday thing.
I love a little MasterChef.
Yeah.
Have it inspired you at all to want to cook, Amy?
No, but they make it look easy.
No, they make it look hard.
Oh.
So,
They make
so
it look way harder than it is.
I know, Freddie. I know you're not. You're not have actual job,
Right.
but do you have a job? What do you have a job right now?
No, I just
Amy.
take
Me?
Amy's
Yes.
a full time.
Yes.
She's a full time bigwig. Amy's
So
the
you can't-
breadwinner here.
So you can't like wake up at 11 in the morning and watch some 6 hours of
I
MasterChef.
cannot. No. But don't worry, we do it at night
We do it at night.
or on Saturday and or Sunday.
And if you want to
Hot
pay
and
me to do
cold,
something,
we're in a mess.
I'm available to write ditties for people. That's what I do now. I
Freddy
make
can write you some
commissions.
music. Freddy at notlp.com. That's Freddy. And if you're like, what kind of music does this little bastard do?
Just go to freddymorriscomposer.com. That's the best place.
Yeah.
I have everything there.
This little bastard.
And gonna have a new hit single, Hold a Copy.
Yeah,
Is
Hoda
an undercover freak? Was that what
is
it
an
was?
undercover freak.
Secret freak? Yeah.
I should really record that.
You really should.
You gotta change the name
time
a little
to-
bit.
We need
Yeah.
that groove, baby.
Yoda copy, like you said. No one will know.
Who could he be talking about?
So, Yoda, Hoda, Soda. Back to Basket Case 2. Jolt Cola helped pay to make that movie, apparently. And there's lots of Jolt Cola in it.
I don't know who that is.
You don't remember Jolt Cola?
I remember Jolt.
Jolt
I
Cola. I thought you
love
said Joel Cola.
Jolt. Jolt with a lightning bolt on the can.
I thought you said Joel Cola like he's a person.
You know,
He
Joe
is,
Cola,
like-
he's like a cigarette.
He's like
mascot.
Joe Camel's cousin.
He has a can for a nose.
So it's like, True Cola is like, well, you'll never find it, but you always go to one gas station that has Joe Cola.
It
And-
would get you
Still?
charged too.
Yeah.
Is it legal in the state?
It was tasted like a sweeter Coca-Cola, and it was loaded with caffeine.
It tasted like RC Cola.
Yeah, it did taste like RC.
I like RC sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean, it's no Coke, but
yeah. I think Surge.
What are we doing
remember
now?
Surge came out too, and that
Are we
was
just talking
another
about sodas
super caffeinated
because
drink.
it rhymes with Hoda.
Because it rhymes with Hoda. You have a list somewhere around here, don't you, Amy? Of,
It's on the other side of the board over there. You can do it, baby.
Are you guys thinking of other things that rhyme with Hoda?
Yes.
This is a list of things that
Not one
rhyme
iota.
with Hoda. These are our Beelzebubs.
Patreon.com/NOTLP if you want to be one.
And before we get into these, I just want to say, check out Lewis's writing at thelostogle.com, or you can follow him on Twitter, right? And pretty much anywhere.
I
Instagram.
quit Twitter.
It's Instagram now.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Louis Fowler 78 LOUISFOWLER.
And Twitter
Yeah,
doesn't
thank
exist anyway.
No, it's
I'm not gonna give any time to that. piece
Yeah.
of
Fuck that
shit.
guy.
Nor should you. These are our Beelzebubs, and these all rhyme with Hoda. It's amazing. Matt Foda, Branan Emiloda, Jeff Loda, Iona Goodwoda. So he's got to say Iona Great Goodwoda.
I had a great Yoda.
Dorota Bryan, old Hoda dirty.
Old
Dirty
Did you
Hoadster.
say hurdy-gurdy?
Old Dirty Bill's Yoda.
Hurdy-gurdy. Bill Fahrner, Dorota.
Just add Oda to everything.
Blayne.
Toyota.
Yoda.
That rhymes with
Yeah.
Yoda, doesn't it?
Yeah. Blayne Yogurt Oda.
Joda Jeans.
Yoda jeans.
Monocota. Jeremota. Cassoda and Gamora. Ernie Oda. Dave Oda.
It sounds like really bad pig Latin.
It does.
Bad.
And
We're
we
not good at
also,
this anymore.
just on a sad note, we did
Yeah.
lose our friend Joe Ravenson from who we knew as Bear on our Discord servers. We've known him for years and years. He always
Yeah.
was the one who would organize the music league that we talked about. We love so much. And sadly, we lost him in September. I just found out, and I just wanted to send my condolences to his friends and family and his widow Amy. So
It's very sad.
yeah, we really loved you, man. You were a really positive force on the Discord server, and
You will be missed.
always loved.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, and I'll see you guys in 1 week.
Yes, you will see us.
In
You'll
one-
see me
in
every
1
day.
week.
I live here.
In 1 week, Oda.
In 1 week, Oda.
I'll be at your house in a few minutes.
All right, cool.
All right, bye.
All right, bye, everybody.